To this very tutorial, we're gonna work on a couple of things. More especially, we're gonna import data and see some structure in the data. So this is how we're gonna do it. Of course, we need to import some data set. There is a data set in my desktop that is called vehicle CSV. So this is its name. And so if I write this code, I'm likely to import the data into this very current directory. So this is what I have. So if I write this code and run it, you can see it has been the code has been run in the console. And if I want to put the data, so if I run that, this is my data. This is the data that I had in my computer. So you can see it has lots of data, and we need to see some structure, or the structure of this data, the whole of it, such that we can know and so on and so forth. So what we do, we look at the structure of the data set, and the structure of the data set, in case you want to look at it, this is what you run. So if I run that, I'm likely to have something of this kind. So you can see all the columns, you can see compactness and so on and so forth. It can tell you that this is a data frame. So it has 846 observations of the 19 variables. So, and they are entitled this way, elongatedness and so on and so forth. You can see to the last one as class. So if we view the data again, we can see that the last one is class. That is all. So in case you want to view some data, for example, you want to see maybe the first 6 rows, this is what you run, and it will give you the first one. This is compactness, circularity, distance, circularity, radius, and so on and so forth. So in every column, you are given the very first 6 cases. That is it. So in case you want to view the tail, it will give you the very last the last 6 rows in every column, and that is what we have right there. Now we need to work on this data a bit such that we can. So working with part of the data, of course, right now we're gonna do a select, filter, mutate, arrange, and these functions are gonna come from the Dplyr function. So we need to load our Dplyr. So loading it gives us, we can use it. So that is what we have. So we can select some columns. Of course, you select by column. So you select columns. For example, we may want to select the column entitled compactness, circularity, and elongatedness, these 3 columns. So if we run that, of course this comes from the data. We are likely to have this kind of data, and this is what we have. So compactness, circularity, and elongatedness. So that is what we have after selecting it. There's also the filter function. The filter function is also from the Dplyr. So you have to ensure that in case while you write these functions, you must have something inside. Like for example, if I try to edit that function, you can see in this curly bracket we are having something entitled Dplyr. So this is what you take. So this filter, then that is from the Dplyr, and inside we may decide to filter maybe elongatedness of maybe 40. You can see the data is we cannot cases, so we may decide to reduce the data. Maybe we specify the kind of data we want to work with. So we come to elongatedness. We, of course, we want the data from vehicles, from vehicle CSV. So write a comma and we say maybe equals to 40, maybe something of this kind. Of course, we need to create some object right there. After selecting, we need to give it some name. Maybe we can say, maybe let it be even data maybe dot select, that is s. We assign it something of that kind. So that is it. So if we run that, when we run that object, we have the data right there. So right here, I want us to have it from data. I want us to have it from data dot select. That is, and our elongatedness, we want it to be equivalent to 40. So if I run that code, I'll have this kind of data. So you can see we are working now with 19 cases, and so there is to work with. So you can see that elongatedness is exactly 40, and you can see that 19 of the very cases had elongatedness of 40. So we can decide to mutate now. When we come to mutate, this function is a Dplyr function that can change a column data, or it can add a new column based on the data that we're having. So for example, if we decide to, of course, this we want it from data. We want it from data. Dot select. So if we run something of this kind, we are likely to interfere with the elongatedness. We are likely to interfere with the elongatedness right here, that is 40. So if, for example, we run that, we have this column right here that is that has been now interfered with. We had elongatedness, dividing it by 100, so we have it as 0.30. And so if we had done something of this kind, maybe we had worked on this code here or command, so, and given it maybe some other name, maybe we can say filter. We'll have said maybe filter dot data. So this is what we could have had. So if we had run that and call upon filter, we could have this kind of data. So right here, if we were to work on the new object as filter, sorry, as filter.data, and run this command, we could have something of this kind. So we have 0.4 all through, and if we were to interfere maybe with the circularity and say maybe we want to divide it by 100, so we can just circularity and write here so if we run this command right there, we have it. Now we have done away with interfering with elongatedness, and now we have worked upon circularity. And this is how you can use mutate to change a column data, or to modify some data in a column. So the second part of mutating is now adding a new column. How can we do this? We may decide to come here and mutate filter dot data, and it's like this one to this one, and we can decide to say now circularity, now we give it circularity over 100, something of this kind. So we run that. So it's something we need to do here. If we run that, we are likely to have something of this kind. So we had 3 of them, 3 columns, but now we are having 4 columns. So you can see the percentage circularity that we have come to include here is another new column that we have right there, and we run the object. So it's gonna give us the data. So we're gonna require to arrange this frame. So, and that is frame is mutate dot data. That is it. So, and we're gonna arrange it based on percentage circularity from the descending or in a descending order. So if we run this code, we run this code, we have it right there. So we have arranged it from the in a descending order. You can see that is 0.47, we come to 0.46, we come to 0.45, and so on and so forth to 0.37. That is what we have in. So next we're gonna use the pipe operator such that we don't include so many objects as we have done. So we can work on just a single object using the pipe operator to run several functions. So next, in the next video, that is what we're gonna do. Welcome to that next video, and please subscribe to this channel such that you have more videos to watch. Our studio together with Microsoft Excel. Thank you very much for watching.